Hey everyone, I love slash hate this election, and the reason I love it is because it has shown me that it has shown me the true nature of the electoral system that we're participating in. And the reason I hate it is because the true picture of the electoral system is not what the Democratic and Republican parties want you to think it is. What they want is for you to think like, okay, there's the Republican Party, which obviously represents corporate interests and big business. And then there's the Democratic Party that represents workers, progressives, environmentalists, the little man, the middle class, the poor people, the downtrodden. But really, it's just the establishment. The true picture that this election showed me is that it's all just the establishment. And the establishment has two prongs to it, the Democratic and Republican Party. And the Democratic and Republican Party act as the establishment's whip in the case of the Republican Party, so that they can scare you, especially scare progressives, back onto the Democratic plantation. Now, get on now. Get back on the Democratic plantation. We got Trump. Trump. He said, grab your pussy. Grab your pussy. What? Just whip. So you see the picture I'm painting. And then they have the carrot. The establishment also has a carrot, which is the Democratic Party. And this carrot is on a stick, and you're never going to actually get to the carrot. What do I mean by that? The carrot, in this metaphor, would be the good platform, the good policies that are often advocated for by the Democrats. And why do I bring this up, this image, and why this election has shown me this? The reason I bring this up is because the most recent WikiLeaks have shown that the Democratic proposals are just that. They're a carrot to dangle in front of your face to get you to vote for the Democratic Party and think that they're better. But really, they're not. And many of the policies the Democrats propose are purposely weak, purposely milquetoast, as someone who I admire, Cornel West likes to say. The milquetoast neoliberal policies like Dodd-Frank are, as revealed in the WikiLeaks, purposely weak and are literally used by Hillary Clinton as an excuse to not make progress. So what do I mean by that? Well, at one of her Goldman Sachs speeches that was leaked, where she was paid $225,000. I wonder if when she gets paid $225,000, she's going to say that she wants to regulate them more. Well, let's see what she said at that speech. Far from chiding Goldman Sachs for obstructing Democratic proposals for financial reform, Clinton appeared to sympathize with a giant investment bank. This is going to be juicy. At Goldman Sachs' Alternative Investment Symposium in October 2013, Clinton almost apologized for Dodd-Frank reform bill, explaining that it had to pass for, quote, political reasons. Because, quote, if you were elected member of Congress and people in your constituency were losing jobs and shutting down business, and everybody in the press is saying that it's all the fault of Wall Street, you can't sit idly by and do nothing. So yeah, she's basically saying, you can't sit idly by and do nothing, or you can't look like you're sitting idly by and doing nothing, but you need to still sit there idly and do nothing and not regulate the banks. She's saying that to a bank. The banks probably applauded. Maybe that was an applause line. They're like, yeah, you can't just sit there and do nothing. You got to pass a bullshit reform. What do I mean? Dodd-Frank is bullshit because what Dodd-Frank essentially does is it doesn't actually regulate the banks or do something like separate investment from commercial banking, like what Glass-Steagall would do, and it doesn't set a size limit to the banks. It says that if the banks become too big to fail, it allows for, I think, the Department of Treasury, to break them up. But that doesn't say that they have to be broken up. That says if they're too big to fail, which they are. They are too big to fail. And they do pose a systemic risk to the economy. So that's the problem with Dodd-Frank, is it doesn't have any teeth. It has gums, and it has the potential to do something good, but no one's going to actually use it. Bernie Sanders said that he would use the provisions under Dodd-Frank to actually break up the banks. Hillary Clinton will just go out there and talk about how great Dodd-Frank is. And she admits right here that it's for political reasons. It's not to actually regulate the banks. It's obvious that it's for political reasons, because if Hillary Clinton actually cared about regulating the banks, she would argue for reinstating Glass-Steagall. She wouldn't use the Republicans as an excuse for, well, that would never pass anyway, so why even advocate it? That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard from the Democratic Party, and one of the biggest reasons why that carrot that I mentioned earlier is really just a carrot on a stick, and it's not a carrot you can ever fucking eat. It's because the Democrats won't fight for it. They'll use the Republicans as an excuse for why, oh, I couldn't do it. Just like Obama used the Republicans as an excuse for why, oh, I couldn't pass universal health care. And he used the Republicans for an excuse for, oh, I couldn't close Guantanamo. But we see that behind the scenes, they do this, quote, for political reasons. It's not to help you. They're not trying their best and failing. They are happy with the status quo because the Democrats are the status quo. They're the establishment, and so are the Republicans. That's what I'm trying to get across. And that is what has been made more and more clear throughout this election, especially with the more recent WikiLeaks. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, adopt a pet sea turtle, do some other shit that's awesome, because all that shit I just listed is awesome.